You've prayed about it. You've begged God to take the exhaustion, the irritability, the feeling that you've completely lost yourself. And when nothing changed, a quiet, terrifying thought crept in. Maybe my faith isn't strong enough. And I want to be so completely honest about something that thought is a lie. And today I'm going to show you the biological reason prayer alone hasn't fixed how you feel. If you have ever cried in your car after church or any time because everyone thinks you have it all together and inside you are completely empty, this video is for you because Christian mom burnout is real and it is not a sign something is wrong with your walk with God. There is a big difference between a spiritual problem and a physical one, wearing a physical disguise. And almost every burnt out Christian mom I talk to has been treating the second like it's the first. Let me explain further. So, here is what burnout feels like. You don't want to get out of bed for your quiet time. Worship that used to move you to tears feels flat, and you snap at your kids and then drown in guilt because a good Christian mom wouldn't do that. And the distance from God you feel, you're convinced it's because you have pulled away. So you do the only thing you know to do. You pray harder, you add more devotionals, you confess and recommit. And when the heaviness still doesn't lift, the shame doubles because now it feels like even God can't reach you. I need to say this gently and clearly. That is not a faith failure. That is a body running on empty, and it has been mislabeled as a spiritual one. Let me just ask you 4 quick questions, and I want you to really be honest with yourself. Do you feel guilty for being tired, like rest is something you have to earn? Has your quiet time started to feel like one more thing on your to-do list instead of a refuge? Do you feel a distance from God you can't explain and can't pray your way out of? And are you exhausted in a way that sleep doesn't actually fix? If you're nodding through these, please hear me. That combination is not the profile of a woman with weak faith. It is the profile of a woman who is physically depleted. And there is a real, beautiful biological reason why. So here's the part nobody in the church ever explains. Your ability to feel peace, to feel connected, to feel God's presence is not purely spiritual. It runs through your physical body, your nervous system, your brain chemistry, the minerals that keep both of them running. And after pregnancy, breastfeeding, and years of pouring out for everyone else, those mineral reserves get drained. Magnesium, the calming mineral, is depleted. The raw materials your body needs to feel calm and connected, gone. Your baby took what it needed first, and that is how God designed it, and it just left your tank very empty. So picture this. You sit down to pray, longing to feel his presence, but you're asking a depleted body to produce a feeling of peace it does not have the resources to actually produce. The desire is there, the faith is there, the fuel is not. Those are totally different problems. So put the shovel down, stop digging through your heart looking for the sin that explains all of this because it was never buried there. The flatness in worship isn't rebellion. The shortness with your kids isn't who you really are. And the numbness isn't God withdrawing from you. The woman who reads her Bible and feels nothing and quietly hates herself for it, she is not cold. She is not falling away. She is just empty. And empty is not a confession you owe God. It is well. He is waiting to help you refill. Now, here is the part that matters. A dry well doesn't run dry the same way for every woman. Some of you are scraping bottom, pure, flat exhaustion. Some of you are the opposite. Water churning so fast you can't even rest even when you're shattered. And for some, it rises and falls with your cycle. And some of you have been running dry for so long, you have forgotten what full feels like. Those are 4 different patterns and each one refills differently. I made a free 2-minute quiz that names exactly which one is yours. It's pinned up at the top and it is first in the description. Go find your pattern, then come back because the rest of this only works once you know where your well actually stands. I want to gently take apart a lie that's probably been running in the background for months. The idea that if you don't feel God, you must not be near to him. That is not how it works. And your dry well is actually the proof. His presence didn't pull back, and your ability to sense it dropped, because sensing runs through a body that is running on fumes. And watch what happens when the spring gets refilled. I've seen it again and again. The words on the page start landing again. The worship song you sung 100 times suddenly starts catching in your throat, and the warmth comes home, not because she finally argued her way back into faith, but because her body could finally receive what her faith never stopped holding on to. So I'm not asking you to pray less. I'm asking you to stop demanding a full bucket from a dry well and let the spring get refilled first. So if praying harder was never the foundation, then what is? Picture refilling that well. There is an order, and the order is the whole secret. First, the spring, you refill what your body physically lost, because nothing above the ground works until there is water below it. This is the step every burnout plan skips, and it is exactly why the devotionals and the discipline kept coming up dry. Then the bucket. Now your spiritual practices actually pull something up, because there is finally water to draw. Quiet time stops being a chore and becomes a drink again. And finally, the rope. You stop trying to haul it all up alone in silence, white knuckled with shame. Restoration was always meant to have hands on the rope beside you. What goes into refilling your specific spring depends entirely on which pattern you are. That is the whole reason the quiz exists. If you carry one thing out of this video, let it be this: you are not a cold Christian. You are not a distant daughter. You are not feeling the people who lean on you. You are a faithful woman drawing from a well that simply has gone dry. And a dry well and a faithless heart are two completely different things. The church too often confuses. Prayer was never built to do your body's job, and your body was never built to do your faith's job. Refill the spring, and you will be stunned at how much of the warmth comes rushing back up the rope on its own. Go take that free quiz pinned at the top. It is first in the description, and find your pattern. Then stay for the next video where we go deeper. You are not broken, my love. You are not falling away. You have just run dry, and the well can always be refilled.